India has banned wheat exports with immediate effect as part of measures to control rising domestic prices. However, the export shipments for which letters of credit have been issued on or before the date of this notification will be allowed, the Directorate General of Foreign Trade has said. It also clarified that wheat exports will be allowed on the basis of permission granted by the Government of India to other countries to meet their food security needs and based on the request of their governments. In a separate notification, the DGFT announced the easing of export conditions for onion seeds. The export of onion seeds was earlier prohibited. Now, official data released this week showed that retail inflation surged to an 8-year high in April due to high prices of fuel and food items. Meanwhile, the Congress has reacted to this ban. Let's listen in to what P. Chidambaram had to say.
On the wheat export, I presume that it is because the central government has failed to procure enough wheat. It's not that wheat production has come down. It's more or less the same. In fact, it may be marginally more. Banning export of wheat is an anti-farmer measure. It deprives the farmer of reaping the benefit of higher export prices. It is an anti-farmer measure. And I'm not surprised. This government has never been very friendly to the farmer.
Right. We're also joined by economist Vijay Sardana on the broadcast for a quick comment on this. Vijay Sardana, now as the burden of high food prices continues to mount on consumers as well as governments around the world, in layman's terms, just explain to us, does this export ban mean wheat is going to be cheaper for us now?
See, we have to understand that wheat economy is not like any other normal economy. First of all, we have to appreciate that wheat is a cold climate crop. And this year, because of climate change and high temperature at the time of harvesting or seed setting, this time quality of wheat and yield of wheat in many parts of India were less than what is expected. And next year, also we are not sure how the climate will behave. So whatever buffer we have in this country, we should very carefully map the requirement of India's domestic food security, because rising food prices and wheat is a staple diet for majority of India. It is very important that we should have a calibrated approach, and I think Government of India has taken a right stand by having a calibrated and regulated approach, because you cannot export like it was the case in last year's scenario. When soybean was at 30 rupees, everyone started exporting soybean to the world market. And after 2 months, we realized that there is a shortage in domestic market and the prices went up to 100 rupees.
But Vijay Sardana, I just want to understand, how does this ban impact consumers like you and me?
It will not impact you in, I say in shortage, but it will help you in reducing the price, because all the consignments which people were planning to export, now there will be restriction on exports. It means whatever people are holding in godowns, they have to sell in domestic market. When supply will increase, the prices will come down. Otherwise, exporters were planning to hoard it for export. Now they will not have incentive to hoard and export. They will sell in domestic market, so prices will cool down for the wheat.
Right. And also, I just want to ask before I let you go, what impact will this ban exert on our farmers?
See, farmers have already sold the crop. Majority of farmers have already sold the crop. Most of the wheat is with the traders right now. And farmers, those who have wheat, they can already also sell the same at MSP to the FCI or to any other state or central government agency, whichever is available to them. So there will always be market for farmers. There is no shortage of buyer for wheat, whether it is a government procurement or private procurement. So farmer will definitely get minimum MSP or above that, depending upon where they are located.
Right, Vijay Sardana, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Barely weeks after Prime Minister Modi talked about India feeding the world with its grains, the government has banned all types of wheat exports with immediate effect to salvage its failing inventories.